Greetings, I'm Supernova Blade, and welcome to something a little different than my other videos I have on this channel. With this video, I'm going to be explaining a little story and insight regarding myself. I'm not sure if I'm going to be doing more videos like this in the future, but I've just gotta wait and see how it'll all turn out. Nevertheless, with this video, I'm going to be explaining how I got my username starting from the beginning. I will admit, it does seem a little cringy, but this is actually how things came into tuition. So, without further ado, here is how I got my Minecraft username. The story dates all the way back to 2012 when I was in elementary school. I was on the website of a TV channel called The Hub. Does anyone else besides me remember The Hub? Anyone? It's what years later would become known as Discovery Family, or whatever it's called now, I don't even know. What I mean is the channel with Transformers Prime, Cotton Puppies, and that CGI abomination of Strawberry Shortcake that existed for some reason. However, the show on The Hub that I was into, and I'm going to get a lot of chuckles and insults for saying this, My Little Pony Friendship is Magic. Listen, I said this was going to be a little cringy, did I not? Nevertheless, I don't know why I even needed to make an account for it, I just did. How else was I going to get high scores on My Little Pony spot the differences? Actually, even with how much backlash I get from the community, I think that after Season 2 the show went downhill. While I was making this account, I think I had one of those random username generators or something like that, and what ended up coming out was Sharpblade4448. Me being an elementary schooler, I thought, that sounds so cool. So I made that my username on hub.com, and thus my first main username was born. Fast forward to around 2013, I was thinking about the preparation of creating a YouTube account, but there was no easy way of doing that since I was way too young to do so. However, my sister made a YouTube account back in 2009 or 2010, and she allowed both me and my brother to make our own channels in early 2014. For some reason, I was like, when I make my YouTube channel, I'm going to name it Sharpblade4448. So I did. Around that time, I didn't have a selective Minecraft skin since I was sharing my brother's account. Keep in mind, this is before people started seeing Minecraft account sharing as a sin. But back onto the original topic. My brother took the player head of King Enderman, which was just an ender dragon, and thus we made it my face of the YouTube profile picture just for the moment. I might explain in a skin history video about all that, but I just want to get back on topic. It actually wasn't until 2015 when I finally got my own Minecraft account, and surprise surprise, I made Sharpblade4448 my first username. At the end of March of 2017, I decided that I wanted a change with my username. I wasn't really all into the numbers in the username anymore. Looking onto the videos I had on my channel, it was mostly Minecraft content, and many of my non-Minecraft videos I was deleting around that point. Back when Minecraft username changing became possible in February 2015, my brother decided to put MC at the end of his username, and it just made me think, you know what, let me see how Sharpblade MC would sound. I felt that it flowed through pretty well. It was more than Sharpblade4448, so I decided, yes, this is what I want to change my username to. Funny enough, one of my videos, more specifically MineZ episode 3, I actually called myself Sharpblade MC in the intro, despite my username still being Sharpblade4448, but I would end up changing it a day later. I have a feeling that most people who know me online had probably originally met me when Sharpblade MC was my username, because I had it for a good long time. This was also a major time of change for me and my own online appearance. Somewhere around late 2019-ish, I was slowly hinting another username change, since many websites where I started making my accounts, I wasn't using Sharpblade MC as much anymore, but rather this new name that said Supernova Blade. Once 2020 came along, I made that name my new username and everything I was able to change my username on. Minecraft, Discord, the Hypixel forums, list goes on. It hardly felt like much of a change since so many people still call me by my old name rather than this one, even today. I don't fully know why they do this, but my guess is because my old username was just easier to say. I don't blame them. I do agree that Sharp is easier to say compared to Supernova, so their thoughts seem pretty valid. However, There were two things that got me and changed my username to Supernova Blade in the first place. Firstly, I always found space and astronomy pretty nifty to learn about, and aren't supernovas mesmerizing to watch? This fact seems pretty ironic since I took marine biology instead of astronomy when I was taking a science course from the last year of high school. Secondly, I'm not entirely sure if many people know this, but one of my favorite bands of all time is the Dutch symphonic metal band Within Temptation, and back in early 2019, they released a new album called Resist. The fourth track, I think, was called Supernova, and my god, it was one of the best songs by the entire band in my opinion. Fast forward to somewhere around the spring of 2019, I made Supernova my username on a Discord of a now disbanded group that some people who know me haven't probably heard of. They're called /Party Pixelators. Some people might remember some of the things I did on that Discord, which totally did not include taking one of the members' skins and putting it in a bikini. Those people who remember it know who that is. Around the summer of that same year, one of the people in the Discord, again, some people might know who this was, but I'm going to keep her anonymous for privacy reasons, was working on a new project. When I read some script lines I needed to voice act, and I was practically playing myself, but what surprised me is that my name was listed down as Nova instead of Sharp, probably because of my nickname on the Discord. It made me know that my username change wasn't being 100% ignored, despite the project being cancelled. Now, that leads to present day, and thus, the end of the video. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, like, comment, yada yada yada, you know the drill. I'm not usually one to do stuff like this. If you want me to make more of these, please let me know. Anyways, this was Supernova Blade, and goodbye.